Hey, it's BT with the BT Brno Beatdown review. Let's get right to it. And that's what it was. It was a beatdown. Marquez do what Marquez does, and what he did. Damn. But first, Moto 3. Rider of the race goes to David Munoz. Munoz, man, let me tell you something. When he's hot, that boy can cook. I'm talking barbecue with the ribs and the chicken and everything. But man, when that boy is cold, that boy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And that's why he had to start at the back of the field. And that's why he came through like the way he came through. And that's why he's rider of the race. The heartbreak surprisingly goes to Maximo Keyes, only because I think he could have won that race, or at least gave Rueda a better race, but that's when his teammate, Dennis, I will be your father figure, George Michael Foggia, decides that's when he wants to race. He ain't heard from the boy all year, but that's when he wants to race. But anyway, it's within his rights to do that. But still, Maximo could have won that race. It could have made it closer, but no, that's when father figure decided that he wanted to race. But anyway, that's my heartbreak, Maximo. Rider of the race, Moto 2. Let's give it to Joe Cool Roberts. And call me a homie, but that's what Joe Roberts is. He's king. He's the king of the cool. He and Frankie Morbidelli are the coolest guys in the paddock. If ever they can make a racing boot that was like a flip-flop, half racing boot, Joe Roberts can make that shit happen. That's how cool he is. Something you will never, ever hear in your lifetime. Fucking hate Joe Roberts. You'll never hear that. He could get married and be going through a divorce. That's when people hate each other the most, when they're going through a divorce. And his wife would be like, I love Joe Roberts. That's how cool Joe Roberts is. Anyway, props to him. Heartbreak goes to Aaron. God damn, not again. Canet. I mean, you can't do that, Canet. You're going for a championship, bro. You were focused all year. Everybody has their bad race. This is your mulligan, okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I ain't going to lie. I'm scared of Canet. I'm being dead serious, man. When I see him in the paddock, I go, man, I can't do nothing with that boy. You seen his neck. I can't do nothing with that boy. I used to wrestle. I do a couple things here and there. I ain't got nothing for Canet. Nothing for him. If he wanted to fight me, I'd be like, look, man, just don't hit me in my face, okay? I want my mama to have an open casket. That's how scared I am of Canet. Anyway, let's get to MotoGP. MotoGP. Rider of the race surprisingly goes to Brad Binder. He started 20th and finished 8th. I think it was 8th or 9th. Props to him. He came through the field. I mean, he sliced and diced like a sushi chef. Heartbreak goes to Enea Bastianini. Last week he had the bubble guts. This week he had turn 3. That was his nemesis. But man, he was coming. Enea Bastianini was coming. And let me tell you something. And that leads us to the break. And what I think is going to give Marquez's biggest challenge is going to be the KTM boys and Aprilia. So get Marquez some Adderall, because he's got to be focused. And right now, that dude during a race, he said it. Marquez's words was like, he was getting kind of bored, so he would speed up and let off, speed up. And I mean, and this is the most talented field I've ever seen in MotoGP, and he was toying with them. Even Bezzecchi knew. He goes, okay, you gonna pass me. I mean, and let's talk about Pecco. Listen, I love Pecco, you know I do, but man, he had to go through Q1, and then he goes and gets a pole, and you think, okay, it's turning around for him. And what happens? He sees on the TV screen after Marquez crashed, Marquez gets a ride back from guess who? His mama and his daddy. His mama and his daddy gave Marquez a ride on a scooter back to the paddock. I mean, Pecco had to be like, seriously, mama? Seriously, mama? Seriously, papa? Next thing you're going to be like, hey, Pecco, where you going with that gun in your hand? And Pecco's like, I'm going down to shoot Marquez. You know, I saw him on the back of the scooter with my mom and my daddy. And that ain't too cool. You'd be like, mama, why? And she going to go, Pecco, it's Marquez. It's Marquez. I mean, that'd be just like watching like LeBron James's mama give Michael Jordan a ride. You'd be like, mama, why'd you do that, mama? Oh, shut up, boy. You know he's better than you. Now shut up. By the way, I got some Hanes underwear. See if they fit. And that's what that's like. I mean, seriously, Pecco did what Pecco does, and he did the best he could. But man, let me tell you something. In the second half of the season, the Aprilia boys are coming, and KTM's coming. KTM's new CEO was there, and KTM showed up and showed out without their A team. Without their A team. Think about this. Maverick's hurt, okay? He wasn't there. And they, he crashed in turn 3, but he was coming. So what? And Pedro. And you know what's cool about Pedro? Listen, Pedro Acosta. If you get him 101, and I bring the media debriefs where it's just him, and they're gathered around him, he's great. He's funny without trying to be funny. He's open. But when you get in with the group on the podium, if you guys watch the behind the scenes, whatever, you know, when they're in that room watching the race, you know, like like F1 dudes do, he's like a stick in the mud. If you watch, he don't say shit. Like Bez cracked a pretty funny joke during the press conference. He doesn't say shit. He looks bored. It's like he's like a Benjamin, but he's like the Benjamin Buttons of MotoGP. He's like 21, 22, but yet still he's like a get off of my lawn guy already. Like, I don't want to talk about that. I just don't. I mean, but you see him and you hear him, and he apologized in Parc Ferme to his team. He goes, "Hey man," basically paraphrasing, "Look, I know I was a dick all year, but listen, I just want us to win. That's all." I mean, and you got to give it to him. But like when he with the group, like I said, he's the Benjamin Buttons of MotoGP. He looks young, but he's got an old mentality. He never smiles, and you don't have to, but still, it would help. Where Marquez, you know, he's got that killer mentality, but he's got the cool laugh, and he's fun. But Pedro, but still, I give it to Pedro. He said he was a dick, but he just wants us to be better. He did it in front of the new CEO. The bike is coming, but is it going to come quick enough where they can win a championship, or he thinks they can win a championship before he's going to get an offer from VR46? I'm not going to say VR46 is after Pedro, but let's put it this way. During the break, I wouldn't be surprised if you go to a Coldplay concert and you say he and Valentino Rossi there together, like, because that's what's going to happen. I mean, and whose place is he going to take? I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Digia. Listen, I love Fabio. I love Digia, but let's just be honest here. He's got everything that the factory riders has. Everything. He's got that motor. He's got everything, and he's not producing like he should. And Acosta wants to win now. And can you imagine Acosta on a Ducati? Oh, Acosta on the Ducati, and Rossi says he likes Acosta, and you don't think Rossi's going to whisper in his ear? Because I don't, personally, if you watch that body language, I don't think Acosta really likes Mark. I really don't. And I think Mark is kind of picking up on that. So, you know, Rossi with a little whisper in his ear, because I mean, think about it. Pecco already said, "No, I ain't playing them games. Fuck that." But well, after you see your mom and daddy, you know, give Marquez right back to the paddock, it might change. But still, I think that. With Rossi whispering in Pedro Acosta's ear and him on a Ducati. Ooh, so during the summer, like I said, don't be surprised. You go to a Coldplay concert and Rossi's holding Acosta going, "Oh shit, there he is." I think it might happen. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass on that, but if I was them, I think I'd hate to say it. And I love DG. I love him, but he's just not producing like he should with the weapons that he has. So I think Acosta goes. I mean, I think DG goes and Acosta comes in. It's like Red Rover, send Acosta right over. And just send DG over to KTM. You never know, it might work. It just might work, but let him go to KTM. But I think Acosta on a Ducati. Oh my God, think of the possibility. And let's go to Aprilia. Look what Jorge Martin did. And say what you want about Martin, and that's valid points. Valid, okay? I thought he was, but listen, and I'm gonna make this point right here. Listen to this phrase. Nobody knows everything about anything. Nobody knows everything about anything. Think about people who are watching this now who've gone through a divorce. You know how you thought you knew your person, and then you find out, are you fucking serious? The mailman? I mean, you don't really know everything about anything. So we don't know what really went on, but what Martin is doing, what he did the first weekend back, and what he did in the wet. He was top 5 in the wet. The first time on the bike. So listen, second half of the season is going to be interesting. Like I said, what Marquez needed in that race, he needed Adderall in that race. That's what Marquez needed. But for the year, for the second half of the season, I really see Aprilia and KTM giving Mark a battle, a healthy Maverick Vinales. And listen, I think the first race back is going to be Austria at the Red Bull Ring. You don't think KTM is going to show up and show out at the Red Bull Ring? That's the casa. That's su casa. And they're going to be like, "Mi su casa, not your su casa." So it's going to be interesting to see what. But Ducati also goes well at the Red Bull Ring, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half of the season. I think I've approached everything. I think I said I got to give a prop out to Raul Fernandez, who has been going through a bad year at the beginning of the year, but he's coming. Raul Fernandez, props to him. Watch out for Raul, man. I mean, the talk of the season at the beginning was Agura. Now that Agura is, he's taking a couple bad spills, And Raul Fernandez getting a little confidence. He's getting some confidence. So watch for Raul Fernandez later on in the year, man. I like what he's doing. And this has got to be sure, because as you can tell, I'm on a ship, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I spent no less than $60 to watch the races this weekend. So anyway, props to Paul Espargo. I mean, what Paul Espargo did was great. Coming back, like I said, Espargo is always ready. He's one of them dudes has his leathers already in the car, right? It's like, hey, Paul, we need a racer. I'm here. And he's already dressed and shit. And that's what Paul Espargo is. Props to him, though. So, yeah, second half of the season, I mean, I can't wait. Like I said, I'm going to make predictions. I think Aprilia is a dream team. I mean, what they do, I think they're going to put a dent. Who are they going to take off the podium? Who are they going to take off? Is it going to be Alex Marquez, or is it going to be Pedro, or maybe both? So it remains to be seen. And maybe even Mark. Maybe, but Mark is Mark, and what Mark is doing right now is phenomenal. I mean, look, I love them all, but what Mark is doing, you got to give him props. You got to understand what you're watching, and what we're watching is just phenomenal, excellent at his best. I said before, I say it again. He's the Michael Jordan of MotoGP. That mental side of him is just untouchable. But anyway, so that's it right now. Tell me what I missed. Alex Marquez, damn. And he did take out Johan Mir, and at least he apologized, but still, I feel bad for Mir. He qualified 5th and had that happen. So anyway, tell me what I missed, because I think I hit everything, but you never know. But anyway, like I said, Acosta's great by himself, but with the group, he's an old fuddy-duddy. But I wish him best, and I don't know. I think over the summer, we're going to see who goes where, who's going to buy whose contract out. It's going to get good. So anyway, I got to go. Thanks for watching, and until then, you know the word. Bye.